Imagine this. You're walking through an ordinary day. Maybe you're on a train. Maybe you're at work. Maybe you're sitting at home with coffee in your hand. Then suddenly your phone lights up. A message appears. You glance at it for just a second. But then something feels strange. The name looks familiar but not that familiar. The message sounds personal but not meant for you. You read it again. And then a thought hits you. Wait, was this sent to the wrong person? Most people would simply close it and move on. But what if I told you that a simple mistake, like receiving a message not meant for you, can reveal something surprisingly important about human behavior? Privacy and the way our digital world actually works, because sometimes a message sent to the wrong person is not just a mistake. Sometimes it becomes a lesson. And today, we're going to explore why moments like this happen, what they can teach us, and why small, digital accidents can create very real consequences. Stay until the end, because one small detail that most people ignore can completely change the way you look at messages forever. The moment that changes everything. Let's picture the situation. Your screen lights up. You expect a normal notification, maybe a friend, a family member, or a work message. Instead, you read something unexpected. Maybe it says, "I'll be there in 10 minutes." Or did you tell them yet? Or maybe it's something even more confusing. There's no context, no explanation, no reason why you should be seeing it. And suddenly your brain starts doing something interesting. Humans naturally hate incomplete information. When we don't have the full story, our minds immediately begin filling in the missing pieces. Who sent this? Who was supposed to receive it? What happened? Is this important? Could there be a problem? Could someone be in trouble? Could I accidentally know something I shouldn't? This isn't weakness. It's actually part of how our brains are designed. Curiosity exists for a reason. For thousands of years, curiosity helped humans survive. Paying attention to unexpected information could mean discovering danger, opportunity, or something important. But in today's digital world, that same instinct works in a completely different environment. Instead of hearing a strange sound outside a cave. Why digital mistakes happen more than people think. Now here's something surprising. Many people think sending a message to the wrong person is rare, but digital mistakes happen far more often than most people realize. Think about how many things happen in seconds. Autocorrect changes names. Contacts appear with similar profile pictures. People type quickly. Apps suggest recipients automatically. We're constantly multitasking. And our brains often work on autopilot. Imagine having hundreds of contacts saved in your phone. Two people might have similar names. One tap, 1 second. That's all it takes. And suddenly, a message meant for one person travels somewhere completely different. What's interesting is that technology became faster. But humans didn't suddenly become perfect. We still get distracted. We still rush. We still make mistakes. And sometimes tiny mistakes create unexpectedly big situations. Not because people are careless, but because humans and technology don't always move at the same speed. And that's where things become interesting. Because the real question isn't, why did the wrong message arrive? The real question is, what happens next? A decision most people never think about. Now imagine you're the person who received that message. You have choices. You can ignore it, you can delete it, you can politely let the sender know. But this moment creates something bigger than most people realize. It creates a small test. Not a test of technology, a test of human behavior. Because receiving unexpected information creates curiosity instantly. Curiosity itself isn't bad. Curiosity helps us learn. Curiosity helps us discover. Curiosity helps us understand the world. But curiosity also raises important questions. Where should we stop? How much information should we access? How should we react when something clearly wasn't intended for us? The digital world gives us access to more information than any generation before us. But having access doesn't automatically answer the question of responsibility. And that's where today's story becomes more interesting than a simple wrong message. The invisible digital footprint. Now here's where things become even more interesting. Most people think messages disappear into the past. You read them, you reply, you delete them, and then you forget about them. Simple, right? Not exactly. Because every action in the digital world often leaves behind something. Not necessarily in a dramatic movie-style way, but in small, almost invisible ways. Think about it. Notifications appear. Messages get backed up. Apps synchronize information across devices. Photos save location. Platforms store activity histories. And suddenly something that felt like a tiny moment becomes part of a much larger system. Most people never think about this because digital technology feels invisible. When you lock your front door, you physically see the action. When you send a message, you don't see thousands of technical processes happening in the background. You press one button. That's it. But behind that one button, information travels through systems, servers, networks, and applications in fractions of a second.
The surprising part? Many people understand how to use technology. Far fewer understand how technology actually works. And that gap matters, because understanding something changes how you behave around it. You drive differently when you understand road safety. You handle electricity differently when you understand risk. And you think differently about messages when you understand that digital communication is often bigger than the screen. Why our brains love mysteries. Let's go back to that unexpected message. Because something fascinating happens in our minds. Imagine someone suddenly says, "I need to tell you something," and then walks away. Immediately, your brain wants an answer. What happened? What were they going to say? Why did they stop? Psychologists have observed something interesting about human attention. Our brains become highly focused when information feels incomplete. A missing puzzle piece becomes difficult to ignore. This is one reason mysteries are popular. It's why people enjoy stories. It's why people watch documentaries. It's why unexpected situations capture attention instantly. But there is an important difference. Curiosity should help us learn, not control us, not push us into assumptions, not make us jump to conclusions without facts. Because our brains sometimes create stories before evidence exists. A wrong message could be a simple typing mistake. Yet people may instantly imagine complicated scenarios. Humans naturally search for meaning. We connect dots, sometimes correctly, sometimes not. Which raises another question. How often do we react to assumptions instead of reality? The lesson hidden inside a simple mistake. So let's return to the beginning. You receive a message that wasn't meant for you. At first it feels random, maybe confusing, maybe strange, maybe even memorable. But now the situation looks different. Because this was never only about one message. It was about attention. It was about technology. It was about curiosity. It was about decisions. Small moments often reveal larger truths. A simple notification can remind us that technology connects millions of people instantly. But humans are still human. People become distracted. People rush. People make mistakes. And sometimes those tiny mistakes unexpectedly teach us something valuable. Maybe the lesson is to slow down before sending something important. Maybe the lesson is to think more carefully about privacy. Maybe the lesson is to understand the systems we use every day. Or maybe the lesson is even simpler. The smallest moments sometimes reveal the biggest ideas. So next time your phone lights up and something unexpected appears on your screen, you might look at it differently. Because sometimes the most ordinary events hide lessons most people never notice. And now I'm curious, have you ever received a message that clearly wasn't meant for you? And what happened next?